Alright, 11 minutes to document this process. Everybody, if you remember a while back, I got stranded in Georgia because my water pump, I didn't fix it on time like a good boy. And I put in a plastic impellered water pump because I was 3 hours from home and that's all I could find. So I needed a way to get home. I want to show everybody why the plastic impeller is a horrible idea. Today I was driving along minding my own business and my car overheats for no apparent reason. Well, after digging into it a little bit, here's the water pump and here's the impeller. If you'll notice, that is not what it's supposed to be. There's me spinning it freely. It's sheared off. Okay, now granted, I was doing 7,000 or 6,500 RPMs, and I was driving pretty hard when this happened. But this just goes to show you why this plastic impeller is absolute garbage. So I figured while I had it out, I might as well go ahead and show you guys how to put the water pump back in the car, just to show you how easy this is. Orientation-wise, here's obviously the front of the engine. I've removed the radiator shroud, which was here, and I've removed my fan clutch, obviously. So right now the belt is off of the engine. If you'll notice, the belt is here. It's loose. I've already released the tensioner with the T50 Torx head. I have a non-hydraulic tensioner, so that's what mine takes. And then you can see right here the hole for the water pump assembly and the 4 studs. And then you also see the hole for the thermostat assembly. So what we're going to do is basically take this new pump, which is brass, and it is a metal impeller, the new design, and we're going to install it into the car. So what you do is you take the pump and you slide it down in here, and with one hand you set it in, twist to orientate so that the studs line up with the, and simply slide it on. And because of the beautiful internal O-ring, this baby's hardly ever leak. And then you just take and you run down the bolts. These are 10 millimeters. Okay, so you have 2 down low and 2 up high. I actually, when I did this in Georgia, I only had 3 bolts. I lost one, so I only had 3 holding on. But when I went to my awesome junkyard, which is Vines Automotive, if anybody ever needs anything, contact me through PM. I'll get you hooked up. Vines really did me around this. I do a lot of business with them. So they actually gave me this pump because I wasn't sure if it was the pump or the thermostat. They gave me this pump and said try it out. If it works, call us and pay for it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Bring it back. So that's cool. Anyway, so I take my 10 millimeter and just simply snug these up. You know, everybody talks about torque and torque wrenches and all that nonsense. Well, here in Alabama, I run these down finger tight and then take my wrench and just turn it until it gets tight, which that's tight, and you just do a little pop, and that's it. She'll be snug forever and ever. There's no reason to over tighten or to really torque these down. There's really no reason for a torque wrench unless you're just a really bad ham fist. You should be fine. So you can see, the snug goes up, and that is how you install the water pump. Now, while I'm in here, I'm going to grab my water pump pulley. This, by the way, this electrical connector is the thermostat sensor. This wonderful Bakelite pulley, it's really just made out of nothing. A little tricky to do with one hand, I think, but you just put the pulley on and line up the holes with the bolt holes. Notice there's bolt holes here. Just try and line it up with one. And the best way that I know to do this, you'll probably are going to be able to see me do it. So I actually have my phone in my mouth, so I don't know if y'all saw that or not. But what I did was I just stuck one bolt all the way through and caught threads, and then the rest are really easy. You just run them down again. Run them down finger tight. You can see there's massive coolant under here because I removed some hoses when I shouldn't have. And I probably have a second-degree burn on my left hand because I removed the lower radiator hose without letting the engine properly cool. Now, here's where a lot of people are getting freak out. They don't know what to do. What I do is, let's be able to see this. Take the wrench and just kind of hold the pulley with your hand. Give it a snugging. And then I'll give them one more. Probably couldn't see that. I'll give them one more good snugging with when I get the belt put back on and use the belt as counter pressure or whatever you want to call it. So now when I actually do that, to put the belt back on, it's not that difficult. I want to try and show this. You're going to need two hands. Hey, little man, come here. Come here. Come here, I need your help. Come here. Don't ride that over here, just come here. I'm going to enlist the help of my Lulist to run the camera. Come here. Over on this other side. Over here. Over here. Go behind me. Hold this right here so that you can see this, okay? Okay. Don't touch any buttons. Alright, so we got my belt most of the way in place. So we take our T. You got it where you can see me? Yep. Take our T50 Torx head. We're going to put it on. The 5-year-old doesn't understand. Put it in there like that. Okay? I do understand. Oh, you do. And then you just turn. Whoops. You just turn it and use the tightening motion. And you push like that, and if you can see, it moves. Okay? And there's actually a little alignment pin right here, and then there's another one down there. If you can torque those with one hand, you can throw something in there, and that'll hold it in the open position so that you can get the belt back on. So let's see here if I can. There's no one belt. There's a little man. Hang on. See if I can set my camera somewhere. Ooh, that might actually work. So what I do is wrap the belt 90% of the way around. Okay, which includes the tensioner and your idler, and then water pump. Easier to put it around the water pump first, and then roll it around this last part here because it's just easier, I think. So what we're going to do is make sure that the bone falls down into the coolant and it's all nasty. Kids are getting into my wife's Jeep. Can't be good. And so, what you do from here is merely take your wrench